The last thing I thought when I saw a drama about Tourette's syndrome is that it would have jump scares. It's I swear. Welcome back to Glenn Hates Everything. I'm Glenn, and you know the drill. Today we're going to talk about the movie I Swear, which achieved a level of infamy recently at the British BAFTA Awards, where John Davidson, who the movie depicts, was in the audience. He's a person living with Tourette's syndrome, and he had some involuntary outbursts at the award show. I think what that did is put a spotlight on this film that it might not have otherwise had, however unfortunate that incident was. And I think that if people far and wide had seen this film first, they would have had a clearer understanding of Tourette's syndrome. It might not have had as much outrage or vitriol towards its subject. Now, I know a lot of the outrage was towards the BAFTAs themselves or the broadcaster for how they handled this incident. But nonetheless, I think that this film deserves a fair shake because it's really good. It's directed by Kirk Jones, who also wrote it. You may know him from past works such as Waking the Divine, Everybody's Fine, What to Expect When You're Expecting, My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2, and also Nanny McPhee. He's had a long storied career, really good journeyman director, really good at those sort of English countryside little village movies. And this film stars Robert Aramayo as John Davidson, who won that BAFTA award, and deservedly so. He had stiff competition this year, and yet he gives a superb performance. You never feel like he's playing a person with Tourette's. You just believe that he is. And he's helped immeasurably by Scott Ellis Watson, who plays John Davidson in his younger years, who sets the stage for the entire film. And just, I hate to use the word blistering, but it's a blistering performance because you see him pre-Tourette's and then you see him as the Tourette's is developing, and it's soul-crushing, and it's difficult to watch not only from an outside perspective, but you really feel how he feels, and it's really remarkable. So at the very beginning, though, we start in the middle of the story where John is receiving an award from Queen Elizabeth. And, you know, as predicted, things don't quite go as planned. And it's shocking, yet pretty hilarious. No doubt about it. And so as then we flash back to young John and we see him age into Robert Aramayo's age, we follow him as he has difficulties getting a job in his home life. You know, he is prone to violent outbursts sometimes. And so his mother, played fantastically by Shirley Henderson, who is a national treasure, or an international treasure at this point, she can handle it. And so John looks elsewhere. A buddy of his lets him stay with him. And his mom, played by Maxine Peake, she plays Dottie. And between Shirley Henderson and Maxine Peake, these are two fantastic supporting performances that deserve a lot of recognition. Maxine Peake demonstrates this beautiful patience with John throughout. Even when she's getting punched in the face, she finds humor in his Tourette's syndrome, which bleeds into how he sees his own condition. And it's a beautiful thing to watch. We also have the great Peter Mullen, who plays Tommy Trotter, who works at a community center and hires John to work with him and teaches him the ropes, and is also unbelievably supportive and patient. Now, here's the problem with this movie is that it could so easily slide into becoming a PSA. And all those beats are there as it goes along. And we see actual people with Tourette's filling the screen as it progresses. And we learn more about them and what steps are being taken to address the condition, maybe to ease up on some of the involuntary tics, for example, or just to give them a place to discover each other and find community. And that really does sound like a Hallmark card. And Kirk Jones is not the most visual of directors. He's just the facts man. He's plain and simple. There are no great flourishes here. It's pretty standard issue. But what isn't standard about this movie is that it has jump scares. It almost plays like a horror film at times without making fun of the condition itself. It actually leans into the condition and allows you as an audience to react as you would. That someone's sudden outbursts can make you jump. Someone punching you in the face without expecting it can make you jump. And you never know when he's going to have these outbursts. So I was, excuse me, constantly jumping out of my seat. And that is really what elevates this film, is that Kirk Jones allowed this to happen. He allows this space in this film for the stereotypes to play out so that we can actually go, that's what I thought it was, but I want to know more. And so you feel so much watching this film. I was sobbing regularly watching this film, and I'm dead inside, and I was sobbing quite a bit. It made me cry, and I thought, wow, this is kind of a overly hokey, sentimental film at times, yet Robert Armill's performance is so winning. You really just grow to love the guy, and you root for him, and I'm getting choked up now thinking about it, actually. It's so touching that this outsider character, who in real life has become the ultimate outsider recently, deserves another look. It deserves to be seen the way this film sees him, as opposed to the way the world, all of a sudden everybody had an opinion about him. And it was troubling to me. I don't like it when people with involuntary conditions, no matter whether you feel their outbursts are a reflection of what was already inside them or not, it's still something that can't be controlled or as easily. Maybe there's some hope, and the movie does address those issues. It's just a really touching film that I think is a must-see. It kind of blew me away with its emotional connection. So it doesn't come out for a little while now, and so I wanted to get this out there because the whole BAFTA of it all has kind of become a shroud over this film. And so I think in the next month before it comes out, it's good to reflect on that and then anxiously go see this film. I think you won't be disappointed with the emotional connection that you have. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.